Toothpaste is a valid condiment.
What? Why?
Look! Why would you say something so controversial, yet so brave? Sometimes you want a minty hot dog.
Someone else has seen the thing!
I actually don't know what you're talking about.
It's a cursed image of someone putting toothpaste on a hot dog.
Okay.
I mean, I can also find one of my other "you want to see the worst thing ever" images.
Please no. Not when we're about to stream.
Okay, I won't get the footloaf.
Thank you.
Oh, I've seen that.
It's
can
It's horrible.
I can never forgive my boyfriend for sending me that when my power is out.
In the pic memes a little while back, posted by none other than the meme lord himself. I agree with the just drink straight out of the cup.
Memer.
I just read that.
That's my philosophy.
Xbox Live voice chat in real time. No.
Suddenly you
Also
just have
the
a
thing
voice
you
chat full of Beaker.
Yes. Also, the thing you posted after that, the part of being a modern witch you don't want to think about.
Cat.
I've just looked at that and I've just like,
Roomba.
I saw that image and that immediately reminds me of the fact that that's literally a thing in My Hero Academia, or not My Hero Academia, but Little Witch Academia.
Ah!
What was
I
that
don't know
sound?
what the fuck that was.
Hello?
Oh, it was someone's phone ringing. But that's actually a thing that happens in Little Witch Academia.
Oh.
There's a witch who has flying Roombas. Because she's a technology witch.
Uh-huh.
It's the best. Anyways, you nerds ready to say your names and get started?
No.
What you?
Yes.
I'm about as ready as we're gonna be, and I am currently working on doing Le Linkbaum.
Nice. Links. You always gotta have one in every session.
Should we start with the names?
Yeah, it's people know who we are for the normal regulars that would already be here, so
Yeah.
now let's just start with the names so we can get out of the way and get started since we're already late.
Well, alright. So, let's start. Hello, I am Armored Hunter. Ooh.
Yes. Technically, it should be Andy, but she has moved herself down in the organization.
Alright.
Ah.
Halloweeny.
She could
Suddenly
decide.
focus.
She decided that the pressure of being at the top was too much.
Yeah, she's just like she went from
Kinda hard to compete with a fucking half giant.
she went from Andy to I want candy. Anyways,
I mean, yeah.
So I guess
want candy.
that means I go next then.
Yeah, go ahead.
But yes, hello, it is Danny Boop. And I am Strem. I am do the Strem. I am do the silly. I am do the knit while do the Strem. So hello, next person please.
Is that me?
Yeah.
I am Felzy. I am Feltros. And I draw the porn.
Nice. You have accepted your existence as you should.
No. Okay.
Mythosia.
What? Oh yeah, the thing. I'm Myth. I'm tired. Want my things.
Hi, I'm Andy. I'm technically now Candy, but I'm at the bottom.
I think it's the emojis.
It is.
Listen, I just wanted to be a little devil for a little bit.
Fair enough.
Hello, I'm Ash, or Jim, doesn't matter. I need to change my name to something more spooky for the spooky month. I don't know. Cinders and agate or something, I don't know. Still though, let's break this thing down. Last time on the Scattered Realms, Session 20 and 21, our band of intrepid adventurers, Keta the Sublucidus Bard, Dravinche the Human Dancer, Morrigan the Hexblade Warlock, Thalesy the Sorcerer, and Brimstone the Burning Glory, faced off against the forces of another Yuan-Ti temple and the backlash of a great yellow sandstorm called forth by its queen. Afterwards, a huge revelation befell our resident human, who has met not only one, but now two of this world's lost gods. And we now join them again, licking their wounds from the conflict in the days to come. Kind of a quick wrap-up of the last session, considering lots happened. So just...
How about Owie?
Yeah, you're all injured and having to sort of just take the next few days to recuperate, which is useful considering you already had to spend a couple more days here to get your stuff in as it stood.
And Da Vinci just needs to take the time as to just sit down, continue to stare at the watch, going to himself, just basically saying to himself, "What the fuck is going on?"
I'm the human. I'm supposed to be the normal one. Nope. Someone's fast.
I'm used to just going around partying and enjoying life, and now I've met two gods and have a quest to put a god back together. What the hell?
That's what you get for being the one who's friendly. Anyway, yeah.
I mean, he's not the only one.
You all have your own goals. Many
Yeah.
of them which are aligning and not aligning with each other. So, on that note, what do you all want to do in the days to come? Because there are many things you have access to. The day after this, the Festival of Radiance unfortunately cannot continue as the water needs to be repurified before it can be done. But within 2 days' time, the Festival of Radiance can recommence. So if you all wanted to attempt any of those again, you certainly can try. I know a few of you had particular interest in that. Looks at Andy.
Can't really do it unless, someone else wants to.
I mean,
What?
we can do it.
No, that's the reason Kat is taking interest in it, is because she wants Lee to try it.
I mean, he's not against trying it, he just doesn't know what to ask, if it does work.
Felzy has no
Yeah.
dead people.
Kelsey's
Well,
just put me on the party line. Oh god, everything is screaming.
But yeah. Actually, gonna pull up the calendar so I can make sure I'm moving the days appropriately forward. But yes. Scattered Realms calendar. Getting this pulled up. Yeah, at this point, you guys would actually be on the final day of the Festival of Radiance.
To contact my mom.
I mean, she's not dead, but all right.
No, you know what I mean.
You're going to attempt to channel and perform ascending.
It's basically like I'm at the Zamodis temple, and I met this temple. I fought a really big Yuan-Ti, but I'm okay. Don't blame Brimstone.
All right, Felzy, why'd you make an intelligence check?
Not really sure. I was clicking around and hit the intelligence button.
All right.
Missed my
Failsy's just off in a corner thinking.
I just had an
not very
idea
well.
of something. Since I just remembered there is actually a dead
Right.
person. I don't know, but I have a name of.
Gotcha. Think about that for a bit. Meanwhile, Andy, I need you to make a wisdom check to see if this goes through.
All right. 1 second. Because I have like 6 different tabs open at the moment. No.
Yeah, you channel forth trying to send this prayer out, and you believe it potentially to be heard, but there's no response that comes back, so you're not certain.
Oh, she's probably busy.
She is a busy woman.
Besides that, she's probably going to be looking into the type of music that they have here at the temple
All right, then.
and trying to like see how she can incorporate that into her performing.
All right. You'd find that here at the temple there is music, though it's a bit interesting. You're not necessarily sure what to make of it at points because it really jumps back and forth between different musical styles because there are a lot of people who come to the temple and there are a lot of inspirations in the temple. It like jumps back and forth between gentle harp music to like rompous maracas and almost like fiesta type music.
Mm.
And it's like it both is very juxtapositioned against each other but somehow still flows together.
Mm.
It's
Ah.
very bizarre.
Is that just during the week, probably asking Morrigan to teach her how to use a shield. Because she has a shield, but she can't do anything else while she wears the shield.
Big old crave shield.
Morgon would be more than happy to attempt to instruct Keta on shield use.
Yeah, and you do yourself now have a fancy glass shield.
Yee, because she decided, well, the armor's nice, might as well get a shield to match because I know how to use these things.
Yes. And it's a very nice shield. They actually had to chisel it down to be more appropriate for your size, since most of the shield bearers of this place are like the Yuan-Ti Malicens or Abominations, so considerably larger than what you are. But it took a few days, but they got it down to your size and appropriate.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'd imagine they use their skills to prop themselves up.
Yeah.
Up
Yes,
or human-sized.
something like that at least. All right.
I didn't mean to
But
take
yeah.
up time.
You're fine. Yeah, you guys can certainly begin the process of that, though that's more something you'll probably start rolling for when there's travel downtime as opposed to right now.
Yeah, more or less
because
just
there's so much
go.
going on.
Yeah, more or less just kind of going over the very basics right now.
This is how you hold it.
This is how you don't fall over holding it.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Gotta teach Keta how to do push-ups proper. Gotta build up them arm muscles.
She's been doing like the very kind of aided push-ups with like the knees, just like still resting on her knees.
Hey, nothing wrong with a helper push-up. Still though. Yeah, you guys are able to do that. Well, anything else anyone else wants to do? Like, I know, Dravinche, you're spending some time with some introspection towards your watch. But I don't know how long you want to do that. If there yeah, or if there is anything you would like to gather from that.
Gather per se. It's just more kind of him spending a good part of a day just sitting at a table just trying to wrap his head around everything, as well as just occasionally messing with the watch, trying to figure out what can it do now.
Yeah. Over
Other-
the course, yeah.
Continue.
I was gonna say, over the course of the next few days, or the next 2 days rather, you do get a weird sense that while the watch is on your person and you've attuned to it, that you feel even more dexterous than normal, and occasionally you even find yourself moving much faster than normal without really thinking about it. Coming from the plus to dexterity saving throws and the at will ability to cast Long Strider on yourself.
Yep. Just boo.
Suddenly you walk faster. Where's the dirt coming from? Not important. There's dirt everywhere. But yeah.
But that really works well given Da Vinci's dancing style is with speed.
Yes. The only thing about this watch that you're still not actually certain about are the two abilities that you have for sure been told about, which is this thing where you can apparently get directions, and then the ability to transport over long distances. You're not really sure what that is, because you'd have to test it really to know, and you're not really. I imagine Travince hasn't just randomly disappeared from everyone's existence for a day. It's like, bye guys, I'm gonna go hang out with some nude elves. Whoa.
He would maybe try testing it with something like walking down to where the Crystallium is and then teleport to the surface.
It's kind of interesting because any of the items you would have received at this point technically are from the Crystallium. So that would be where the associated object part of teleport would let you go. That would be like its on target destination. So I like to just imagine that Travince goes to teleport to the surface and then shifts over like 4 feet.
He's,
Then the next
he's
day,
standing on the table he took like a hammer from.
yeah, and then the next day, okay, let's try this again. This time from the top. Boom.
Pretty much, yeah.
This is neat.
Each time you've done it, the people in there just slowly turn their heads towards you when you just suddenly disappear and reappear. It's like, what are you doing? Especially because one of the times you do literally teleport on top of a table where someone was working on. They just look up at you.
I'm dreadfully sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I nearly crushed your foot.
And I shall now get moving.
They are understanding enough, and over the course of doing it at least twice in a row, you get the sense that you can probably fine-tune your location a little bit more knowing that.
And otherwise, other than just messing with the watch, you would be taking time to to either studying to do some studying of dances, maybe see about taking a scroll of either some magical spell dancer techniques or dances or dance routines and keep them in his scroll case.
Alright. At this point, it would have been possible to have some of the scribes. Okay. At this point, it would be relatively easy to have some of those scribes actually copy some of those scrolls for you, as well as convert some of these scrolls, which were previously designed for Yuan-Ti body types, to be more for human body types. Not necessarily requiring the body that is at least 10 feet long
Yeah.
and made of nothing but vertebrae and muscle.
Just trying to imagine Dravenche trying some techniques like that and breaking his knee. It's like, legs don't bend this way.
That would be bad.
I imagine it'd look more silly as he's laying on the floor and his legs are flailing about left and right. Like, wait, this is supposed to be elegant. This is nothing but.
I need more knees.
You would actually discover that there are some of these spell dancing abilities that require more than one person as well. Like more than one spell dancer to work together in tandem to create even more powerful effects.
Do you want to dance with a snake?
Well, I've danced with many partners. Wouldn't mind trying dancing with the snake.
Actually have to look at my notes to see if any of them are currently around.
Or did we lose all our dancers to the sand? That'd be sad if we did.
No, you lost quite a few of the temple's warriors to the sandstorm, but luckily this temple has a lot of residents. As well as there being some of the normal, like, what would effectively just be civilians that were willing to undergo the more aggressive Yuan-Ti mutations to become warriors. It typically is how the temple, even after heavy losses, still maintains a sizable defensive force.
I'm gonna close that window so I'm having big trucks go past. Okay.
You would actually
But
be
she-
introduced to one of the temple's dancers.
Oh?
You would be introduced to them. It is a female Yuan-Ti. Specifically, I believe this one. I'm so bad with remembering which types of Yuan-Ti are which, but the ones that are almost literally just snakes, just giant snakes.
Malsons?
That's what I thought, but I was not certain.
I'm just gonna get up a list of UNT to put in my notes for my own sake.
But yes, she is apparently one of the temple's actual spell dancers. Now I have to find her stats. Give me a moment. If you actually want to do anything with her, or if you just want to talk to her, I don't have to pull up her stats. It is up to you.
Well, Dravenche would ask for a dance. and also ask what, like, some of the more basic stuff of like what was the training like for you to become trained in it? How did you start, and what elemental affinity does she have? Hatch, you there?
He's either mute. No, he's not mute.
He's
Muted.
not muted.
The music on Roll20 stopped, or okay, maybe not. His Wi-Fi might be screwing up, or Uncle decided to mess with the router again.
It seems like every game,
Every time.
the uncle kicks in.
I don't.
Yep, there he goes.
Sorry,
See
folks.
if ever tried dancing. She can do a G.
Failsy trying to join in on the dancing.
No, just seeing like over her overall performance
How?
in
How's
for
your,
future things of what she might try.
do you have a 20 charisma?
Yes.
Darn it.
All of the
Well, so do I.
Yeah. Just more annoyed that the person who specializes in dancing has the same bonus as two of the other party members who may or may not dance.
I think 3, because Keta also has a 20 in charisma.
Yes, but Keta is barred.
Keta would naturally have a proficiency in performance.
Actually, Keta has a higher bonus in performance than Dervinche does.
So
Yeah, because she would have proficiency and a net and
What's
a
up?
20 charisma.
She's built for it.
She Dilford? What?
That
we're
just
just talking
talking
about
charisma and such. Anyway,
Big
welcome back,
altar.
Hatch.
Good to be back. I'm ready to scream at the cosmos.
So, do you need me to repeat anything that I said?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, Da Vinci would be just asking a few questions like, how did she get started in training? What was training like at the temple? What elemental affinity she has? And if she would like to try for a dance.
By the way, the conversations that you were having with her are somewhat having to be done through an interpreter because she does not speak common. So either Failsy is there or other members of the other members. Jamel would have to be there. Someone who can both understand the Yuan-Ti's language and common.
Failsy's not doing much, so would sit there and translate while messing with her familiar.
Fair enough. Which finally has come out of the stick and started interacting with you.
I think Felzy, can she give it treats?
It doesn't really need to eat, but if you give it like sweet natural foods, it does enjoy them.
Yeah.
It likes the way they taste, not for their sustenance or value. But yeah. But Felzy, you were able to
Yeah, she's
translate.
just,
What were you saying?
yeah, Felzy's just sort of applying her familiar with treats to make it more trusting, I guess,
Pretty much.
and translating whenever her sister talks.
All right. So you'd find out that she more or less started her training.
Nation.
What? Everyone's cutting in and out for me. Is
Yes,
it happening to
me
anyone
too.
else?
little
For
bit, yeah.
me, it's mainly Failsy.
Okay, I'll try and drop out and join again.
I'm gonna drop out and join again as well. Okay. Armored, please remind me of what you asked previously.
Do you want me to just write it out?
No, please just ask them one at a time. I'm not good with lists. Like spoken list. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries.
So what was the
7?
first one?
I
Oh,
I
okay.
assume that you would have been introduced, so introductions would have been out of the way.
Oh, yes. You are introduced to her. She is simply known as Vezirel. Which I will type that out for any of you who want to take it as a note. She does not give a family name, but among the Yuan-Ti you've met in the temple, you've found out that more or less all of them identify themselves under the Zemodis name. So if one does not give a last name, that usually just means that they don't think they need to state the obvious of what their last name is. Because this is the Zemodis temple. But
Yeah.
yeah, so she is, and this is pretty much the only bit of it you understand. She introduces herself as Vezirel.
Well, Vezirel, it's to me it feels a little foreign talking so openly in this case, but how did you start to learn to become a dancer?
With the aid of Felzy, you learn that she started to learn this practice more or less because her body was very naturally suited for it. She used to actually be a human before the mutation overtook her. And you know that this mutation is a willing choice. They are not forced up. This is not forced upon them.
Mm-hmm.
But her body took this form when she transformed, and she was very suited for being a spell dancer because she could make actually very intricate, almost runic patterns with her body as she danced. So it just seemed natural that she take up the mantle of becoming a spell dancer.
I understand that. My mentor did a fair bit of observation before she took me under her wing.
To that, she would just nod. That there must be a great deal of natural talent before someone can learn this skill.
Now, I only know training as a part of a small group out in Tesverel. But what is it like training here in the temple?
She would actually be willing to show you their training grounds.
Oh, most certainly.
She leads you to a few rooms that have been laid out very similar in style to a ballet room, like with the bar on the side for those who would use it for stretching and such. And then it's just a large open stone and wooden floor. There are sections of it which are made of stone, and sections of it that are made of wood. There's even a pit, which is very surprising given their general need for cleanliness in this temple, where one of them is just filled with sand. Of course you do. And she explains that these surfaces are the typical surfaces one would combat in this area of the Flagoran Desert, so they must train on all of them before they can truly be called spell dancers.
Vizerel, what is your elemental affinity?
She gives you a wide, snaky smile before starting to move about in a sort of viper-esque side-to-side pattern as you see small motes of jumping off of her scales as she makes this rather almost enthralling display of movement.
Sorry, you cut out. Small motes of what?
Small motes of flame. It's almost like small sparks of fire that are just igniting from her scales.
She who dances with fire. My mentor was also one who was akin to flame.
She nods.
As Dravinci will also start to dance and using his skill with wind, start blowing up bits of sand to kind of swirl around him as he's dancing.
She looks rather interested at that. For the sake of this going forward, I'm actually just going to speak as her and assume that Felsi is translating it.
Mm-hmm.
One with wind, how interesting. Flame and wind are two elements of our school which work well together.
Yes, I didn't quite pick up all the tricks my mentor taught me. But time on the road has had me develop my own.
The heat of fire fuels the winds, and the gale of breeze stokes the flames.
So that
It's
one
only
burns
natural.
brighter, And the other one spreads its power.
Indeed.
Now, may we have a dance?
Of course. I would like for you to make a performance check. Depending on how this goes with both of them, something might interesting happen.
Given the spell dancer's natural ability to that if they're in an area that's suitable for their elemental affinity, they have advantage. Would
Yep,
Draventia
you
have
have-
advantage?
Yes, this is a studio made specifically to train spell dancers, so if you had advantage anywhere, it would be here.
Okay, 16.
Not a terrible roll, and pretty close to what she rolled as well. So, there's a bit of a rhythm that picks up in the room, though not a true music. No one playing around you, but it's almost the actual heat of movement and the step of your feet and the sounds of her scales scraping against the floor as she moves that almost creates a rhythm for you both to dance to. And it's almost without you noticing that as you're dancing around her, the wind that comes from your body when you dance, it's actually displacing things in the room as you both just curl around each other. And and the fire that's coming from her scorching some of the wood and even turning some of the sand into glass as it hits it. Failsy, you're understandably getting kind of buffeted by both of these things, and it's not incredibly pleasant to be around.
So
It's
try
like one of those.
backs away, but can't go really far because he still needs to translate.
Yep.
Although it is one of those things where it's like they're not talking, they're just letting the dance do the talking for them.
Yeah, there are no words stated. There's just breath and movement. Yeah, there are even
They
parts
would
where
lovely children together.
oh god, maybe, who knows? Snake children. Still though, there are even parts where you step over and onto her body because she is clearly strong enough to support your rather lithe weight, and you can even dance along her scales as they kick up flares. At one point, you actually there's due to it not being a 100% perfect roll, you almost break step at one point when you look around you, and there's almost an ignited tornado kicking around the both of you. And it's at that point you realize, okay, maybe we should stop before this gets any worse.
Oh, let's continue.
I mean, if you want to make another performance,
Sure.
DC gets higher though.
$24.
You rolled it twice, but okay. 24 is the
I
first.
rolled
so
it
yeah.
twice because advantage.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Oh yeah, she has advantage as well. I should do that. Her first roll was better. Yeah, you're actually able to maintain this tempo. The gale of flame around you does actually kick up to the point where even you yourself in the eye of this would-be storm is starting to feel the heat radiating from around you. Failsy, being in close proximity to this, you actually do take damage. Mitigated by the fact that you're tiefling. So, considering the mitigation, you take 3 points of fire damage as you were literally slapped in the face with a tendril of fire. And currently, all you're seeing in front of you is, in this 40 by 40 room, a literal tornado of fire that is climbing up to the ceiling, with tendrils of flame whipping out around it.
Yep, I just taking a quick look, see if I had anything to block. Nope. Yeah. Fauzi's getting burnt.
Yeah,
God
the Chewinga is jumping back into your staff.
Yeah, so how much damage did I take?
You took 3 points of fire damage. That is considering your reduction.
That's slightly singed.
Yeah, it's more annoying than it is painful. At least compared to the other sources of pain you've experienced recently.
Oh, you're aggravating my sandburns!
You would hear that, Dravenche. Do you continue to dance?
I think at this point, Dravenchi would, through the motions of dance, indicate a, shall we do a finale?
You seem to get an of course.
Does Fauzi notice that they're not stopping?
No, if anything, they're getting even faster now.
Fauzi's retreating into the hallway.
Duck and hide!
Nat
duck and
20!
hide! See what she rolls. Unfortunately, not as high. So you're able to finish it off with a perfect flourish of your body, just sailing through these flames uninjured as the wind kicks up around you, protecting you perfectly from this heat produced by your own motions at this point. Though you kind of finish it off with her pushing you from her head to give you this final flourish. And you nailed it perfectly, but she maybe didn't anticipate the amount of force you were going to jump off of her with.
Oh.
And she's not hurt, but it does, like, daze her for a second, and that suddenly cuts the flames around her short, as she has lost her momentum. Failsy, you see from the hallway a sort of rush of flame that filled the room, and then Dravinche standing in a perfectly flourished, bowing pose. Meanwhile, Tezral just looks confused and dazed.
I'm glad I wasn't in there.
Thank you very much for that dance, Vezra. As he says as he gives a bow to her.
She regains her senses relatively quickly and bows back to you. And assuming Failsy is still willing to translate, does give you a good dance with you as well. You're
I
very
haven't had a
skilled.
dance like... Sorry.
She just said you're very skilled.
As are you. I haven't had a dance like that in a long time.
If only you could meet some of the teachers here. I am still but a student myself.
If I do get the opportunity to meet them before I leave, that would be quite the pleasure.
She nods. I'll see what I can do, though. They've been out for some time.
No worries if you can't. Thank you very much. This has been a wonderful time.
And she's actually, through this, I'm going to say you're going to learn a bit about the arcane interactions with spell dancing.
Ooh.
Arcane interaction, as you all would know, but for this, it's just for Dravenche being told this, it is a law in this world that certain elements, when they interact with each other, they create either new elements or bigger effects. Wind and fire have several potential things that they can do together. They can either stoke each other and become more powerful, respectively, which is what happened in this scenario. But she does tell extreme scenarios where both dancers are incredibly skilled. They can actually create a storm of lightning. Basically, if you're more skilled and both parties can do the performance checks rather well, you can create a storm sphere centered on yourselves. Rather nice ability.
Well then.
Yes, but it takes more than one spell dancer to do this.
Of course.
She would also tell you of one other she knows of, which is wind and water. Which is the ability to create ice. Specifically, she knows two of the teachers at this particular branch of the school. They have displayed the ability to create the effects of the spell Cone of Cold by dancing together. Basically
That
creating
is-
a massive rush of freezing energy.
That is very impressive.
It is a skill which we do not practice often, but keep our knowledge of well.
I'll keep it in mind if I meet any others who follow our similar training on the road.
Of course. Though as I understand it, even if you meet them, you may not know.
I know.
But I wish
There
you
are
luck.
a few who met me and didn't know it.
She
And
nods.
thank you. Okay, I think that's my bit done.
Yee. Does anyone else have something they'd like to do? Brimstone, Motogon, Keta. Well, Keta, you kind of already did something, but there might be something else you want to do.
I can't think of anything.
I could talk to Brimstone
Okay.
All right.
because something came to mind that Keta needs to ask Brimstone.
All right. How about you, Motogon?
Just helping to get at least starting the basics with Keta on shield use and maybe see if it'd be possible for her to purchase some healing pots while here.
Healing potions. Not beyond them, and they'd be willing to give you guys a couple for the road, basically throwing them into the stocking up of the cart they have done for you. Which, by the way, if you guys look, you have several large water barrels filled to the brim with water now.
Nice.
Yes.
Elway's just gonna live in one.
No, she has the fish tank.
Oh, she's taking
That's
the fish tank?
You guys got one.
Yeah, we got one for
Right
the
purpose.
Fancy
Oh,
organized that the first day.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we'll
so
just take one of
LA is
those with
just-
us.
She's just in a fish tank, except for when she's occasionally around you guys. And that one time you guys saw her without her robes on and no one questioned it. So you really just saw her head.
Yeah.
Because lovely censormanship water.
Yay!
But yes, you guys have your fish tank, which has more water in it, though I don't necessarily think you want to drink it.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
It's nice Elway tea.
That is all hers.
Exactly. It's 100% her, baby.
And
Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on.
I don't have detect magic, I don't think, so I can't do any testing or?
Is the water magic?
I mean, probably.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, Morrigan would just more or less see about making sure that they have health pots and stuff.
Yeah, they're
Airway
willing to part.
bathwater.
I knew it was going to come. But yeah, they'd be willing to give you guys some of what they have. They can't. They obviously, especially given what's just happened the night before, they can't part with. They can't just give you as much as possible.
Alright.
But they're willing to part with 4 basic healing potions and 2 greater for you guys.
Okay. I'll write that down.
All right.
That was
Okay.
What was Failsy?
Fails is still carrying 1 potion. I think.
Did you have 2 before?
I fed 1 to Keta
Okay.
because Keta was dead.
Kenta was a dying baby.
Okay, I've got that written down that we've got those healing pots.
All right. But yeah, relatively short order to get that done.
Okay, that's one of the things on my list. Gone.
They're also willing to part with actually giving you like a healer's kit for when pots aren't necessary or are not what you need.
Okay, so we have a healer's kit too.
I don't know
Healer's
if any
kit's
of you have.
different. Healer's kit's different to
Healer's kits,
this
you
world
can.
than normal, or is this just normal normal rules for healer's kits?
I mean, it varies depending on what you're trying to do with it. For my sake, it's usually like some injuries are not healable with magical healing. Like if you break an arm, that's not going to get healed just by drinking a potion.
Yeah.
You have to like set the bone in place and then try to magically heal it, because
Yeah.
otherwise you're going to have an elbow. You're going to have an extra elbow where you don't need one.
An extra non-functioning instrument.
A nice extra bend that you may not want.
Yeah, Fels has got a 1 in medicine.
But yeah.
I have a 2 in medicine.
It's because most of us are not very high wisdom.
No, not a lot of wisdom, not a lot of strength in this party.
Nope.
I think I might have the highest wisdom in the party. Oh no.
You might.
What do you have?
A 14.
Tied.
Felsi has a 12.
I think Keta has a 14 in wisdom.
Keta's got a 3 in medicine. That's jacket trade.
Yeah. So I think she's got a. She at least has a +2 on wisdom.
Lee has stats. Let me find them.
Lee has numbers.
All of a sudden, oh, Lee's a doctor.
He's not a doctor. NPCs. No, party NPCs is the one I need. Lee has a 1 in medicine.
Oh.
Lee's a bard. Have you applied jacket trades?
That's why he has a
Please.
1 in medicine.
Yeah. We all at least have some positive.
I guess Lee.
Lee has no wisdom modifier.
Yeah, Lee's got the flat +0.
He's got an 11 in wisdom and 9 in intelligence.
Look, he doesn't need to be smart. He's a good boy.
He's not smart, he's pretty.
And strong.
I mean, he's got a... I'm not going to say his stats.
He's pretty, he's strong, and he can take a hit.
Pretty much. He's also fast.
Or if not pretty, at least endearing.
He's a pretty orc.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, as far as orcs go, who are typically a pretty rough and tumble bunch, Lee's a very, like, human standards pretty orc. It's kind of weird.
Are we talking Chris Hemsworth or Jason Momoa pretty or what?
We're talking, like... I have to look up what Jason Momoa...
The guy who played
Jason
Aquaman.
Momoa.
The guy who
Definitely
played
closer to Jason
Aquaman.
Momoa than it is to Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, considering that Jason Momoa was a big fucking dude.
Yeah, especially with that like very broad jawline.
Yeah.
Lee has a very broad jawline.
Let's see if we forget. Before we forget again, is there a map that either copy or borrow?
You guys would have been provided a map.
It's just we didn't have one before we got here.
A weird thing about Lee as well, he has a beard, which is very strange for orcs in this world.
Can't to know that is strange, but
Orcs typically grow very partial facial hair, or just keep themselves like clean shaven. But Lee has like an actual beard and mutton chops.
Does he have that the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was a lot shorter when you guys first met him, but he hasn't had a chance to cut it in a long time.
I remember that.
could catch a talk with Brimstone.
Yeah.
About that thing. So, I'm in his room, probably in his room, being away from me.
Who drew a line on the map?
But there is going to be just furious knocking at his door.
Just doesn't even answer. Just what? Kata?
Come in.
Yeah. I guess. Open the door.
Go ahead and go. Brimstone, I've been thinking about something. So, from what you said about your lady friend, no, fiance, that's the word for it. You said that you thought you saw her like die in front of you.
Yeah.
Is alive, or at least probably alive.
Apparently.
Did you find it a little weird?
Yeah.
Considering that, like, I mean, she probably could have gone through rebirth, but like, oh, that had happened?
I don't know.
I hate to say it, but what if it wasn't like, was it an illusion? And she knew about it.
Wait, knew about what?
But okay, think of it. If you heard that like you're apparently dead, wouldn't you go find people and say, "Hey, I'm not dead"?
Mm.
I would. So, why didn't she find you if she wasn't dead? At least send a letter or something.
Let's think. Maybe it's because my dad is the one that killed her, and if she associated with me further, she'd just get killed again.
But this is going off the idea that she didn't die.
I'm pretty sure she did.
You know. Are you positive that she did die? Illusions can be very powerful.
Whatever the hell this thing is, something was reincarnated using it. It wasn't me. I've always been like this. I don't know who it was.
What thing?
The brand.
If I recall, Andy wasn't here during the conversation. Velzy figured that one out.
I heard it. Keta didn't hear it.
Cat
Okay.
didn't.
Yeah, I know.
Brand was used as a way of
Not reviving, reincarnating.
reincarnation, rebirth.
Yeah. Apparently. I just don't know who.
But like,
Ad fails, they work her magic bullshit. Try to figure it out. Try to figure out anything. But
then again, why would it be your fiance? Why not your mom? If your father is as horrible as you say he is, wouldn't it be more hurtful to you if something brought back your mom and then there's a chance for her to die again?
or it was one of his cronies. I'm sure he's got some.
But think of it. Or if you saw your mom die again, then your fiance. Goodness, Brimstone, something seems fishy here.
I don't think that.
Something seems fishy to the point that, like, it sets off that thing in me where it's like, there's danger, like, more danger than most people understand.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, okay? The thought came to mind that, like, in on it.
Maybe she was. I don't know.
To be able to sever. I'd hate to say it, but what if, like, you?
You keep cutting out.
I'd hate to say it, but what if she comes to, like, kill you or something?
Keta,
Yes.
you don't normally get a chance to look at the brand that often. If not for the fact that sometimes it's covered up, but more for the fact that usually you don't dig in too much to it, for as much as you might be nosy and sometimes a little bit annoying to Brimstone. I imagine even you have your limits for how much you try to pry into things he doesn't like being talked about.
Almost, look like he has smoke coming off of him. That's when I stop.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, you've always assumed the brand was something kind of dark and spooky, because obviously occasionally it smokes and burns a skin. But you're getting a look at it, and just with everything that's happened recently, you're not sure about something. There's something that feels weird here.
Son, could I touch it? The brand. Don't do any weird magic or anything. I just. He's off.
Uh-huh. Something seems weird about it, and you want to touch it, knowing full well who it's connected to.
You think he's gonna come here and eat us? Dave will tell you. I mean, it's.
Just because we're safe here doesn't mean he won't wait.
We have time to prepare.
What?
We have time to prepare. Please, 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 please. I'll leave you alone.
Against my better judgment, fine.
So Keta's gonna kind of look at it, kind of like run her, like see if she can actually touch it. If not, like
run her hands, run her fingers over it, see if there's any, like, writing or anything like that that she may be
Make a
able to
religion check
understand.
with advantage.
Sorry.
Religion check. An advantage.
Accidentally rolled it to GM.
Oh, well.
Ash.
I might keep that roll, but go ahead and roll it again.
17.
Okay, 17. That's pretty much the same as what you rolled the GM anyways. Brimstone, this is the first time you've ever seen this happen. When Keta touches the brand, runes start lighting up on it. And the brand typically has no engraving on it.
What?
And this is when you make a weird connection, Keta. The brand is written in Celestial.
It's Brimstone. Brimstone just looking at it and just.
You've never...
Bastard.
Well, I don't know if you've ever seen... For one, you know that your dad does not like the Celestial language.
Yeah, but his
He
dad is also an
despises it.
asshole. Just looking and just. Oh. That's
You
weird.
just look at the fancy letters and your brain is just like, I don't like it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sense of what it's written in Celestial? Like, what's written in Celestial?
Let me get my notes on this because you can read this and you have divine blood.
Oh, yeah, I also remember.
There's so many things around you guys that it will only react to specific stimuli. I love it when the players find the things.
Okay, now to start sticking the watch into Brimstone.
Open up, Brimstone!
Why do I
Shoves
feel
it in
like,
his mouth like a giant cookie.
why do I feel like that would happen? Dad would just be like, "Thank you."
I'm taking this.
Just a
Just
giant
turns
comes out of his mouth, takes it, sucks it back in.
Just turns Draventri's arm into fucking silly putty, and then just takes the watch.
It has a couple of words written on it. Guardian, Reborn, Divine, Contract, and Infernal. The literal celestial word for infernal.
Keto will kind of say that out loud as she's kind of like running her, like kind of like move your finger as you're reading
Mm-hmm.
that and reading it out loud in common to Brimstone.
Huh.
This isn't so this is odd. Is it divine? Is it divine contract?
I don't know if it's necessarily a divine contract or a contract made between the divine and the infernal.
I mean, let's make a deal with your dad.
I don't know.
In
We haven't exactly had a proactive conversation before.
from what he said, he's kind of a dick.
Yeah?
What god would want to make? I mean, Aquila maybe.
Maybe it wasn't a god.
Azamar?
Divine enough. I don't know.
I mean, they'd
I'm
react with
gonna
them.
remind you of something you already know, Mythosia.
No.
When Felzy identified and you guys dug for deeper information with Arcana checks,
Mm-hmm.
the contract didn't involve your dad at all.
Hmm.
Like, it had nothing to do with him,
Hmm.
other than him tampering with it afterwards.
I mean, whatever it was, I don't think my father was involved with it, as far as I remember. Seems like he messed with it after the fact, but before then it was between two different other creatures.
Son, I have a weird idea. Weird theory, I guess.
Hmm.
What if threat of protection in between your fiance and someone or something relating to the god of death, and then your dad got into the inner workings of the contract and kind of have this. And like it was originally meant to be like from your dad, and then like it got really tainted.
What? I'm asking that as me because you cut out at key moments, so I don't know what you were saying.
What if it was originally a contract between his fiance and something to deal with the god of death to protect him?
I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm just reaching, but Infernal and Celestial seems to imply two opposite forces. I don't know.
It's just an idea. What's the whole divine?
It wasn't exactly like Ilyana was exactly involved in anything relating to anything like me or my dad. I mean, besides me.
How do you know she wasn't involved in anything celestial?
But she's making a deal with the god of death that would be the celestial component.
I mean, it could be anything else. You don't know. There's like a bunch of Azamar out there.
I don't.
You all have very recently dealt with someone that literally made a deal with the god of death.
I mean, it's not that hard to believe. I guess. She probably kept secrets from you. I mean, you keep secrets from people all the time. Maybe she had a friend. And then maybe she did it so because she loves you, and then we can. I'm not gonna go any further because I don't want to get yelled at. I guess it's just something to think on then.
Mm.
In fact, when I do learn the, no, I don't think I can do it. Even if I learn the spell, I don't know her. I was just thinking, there's the sending spell that I could use, but I don't know what she looks like, or and I haven't met her, so.
Mm.
Like,
What?
can always try.
Hmm. Maybe.
And I'm gonna go now. I think you got a lot to think on.
Mm.
If you want any cookies, you can. I got some in my room. They're really good.
I'll take your word on it.
Gonna kind of awkwardly back up towards the door and then like and open up the door. Just like, I'm just gonna slip out now because I made things awkward.
You hear a very bubbling, "The butterscotch," and see Lee pressed against the side of your room.
So many questions, and I know you don't have gills.
But he does have a bad habit of speaking when he's trying to hold his breath.
Lee, our resident orc maid.
Oh, I don't know if the library would have anything on what, like, might be relating to what. Oh, God. I don't want to take up any more time.
And I don't think anybody else is.
I Kenta wanted to see if, like, the library had anything relating to, like, you may drown at sea, if, like, you may get weird powers and things like that. Or, like, you just change if you, like, drown at sea or anything like that. Any stories on things like that?
I mean, you find a lot of you could find some stuff about that, some old stories if you want to make an investigation check.
I should probably ask Vale to come with her because she doesn't want to get lost in the library.
And because you want advantage on investigation checks, I bet.
I also had to have her instruct me in places when I was here before, so Ketch doesn't know how to read this language yet.
Fair enough.
Well, you easily find Failsy dusting herself off of.
She's got like specks of glass on her.
Yep.
See?
You find her getting herself cleaned off.
I was like, can you come to the library with me? I had to have Jamil help me last time, and I don't know how to read the language. So please.
That'll be. I can do that. You're not going to some fire, are you?
I mean, no, I don't really have any fire spells on me.
Good. Because I didn't realize. Revenge.
All right. So I'm
Don't
assuming
know
you
how
both.
to spell dance right now.
Okay, did anyone else catch only like 20% of that?
Yeah,
No.
cut out a lot.
Seem to be. Yeah. How do you get everyone?
Dude, you are cutting out a lot.
Yeah, my internet's.
Was you there?
Is that any better?
Seems to be
Yeah.
now.
Switched internet and rejoined. Alrighty then. What was the thing?
We're going to the library to go find stuff.
Right. I don't mind helping, yes. What are we looking for?
stuff about if you drown at like if you almost drown at sea or if you drown at sea and you get weird shit happening to you.
I didn't actually understand that.
Am I cutting in and out?
No, I just didn't understand the word that Keto used. What are you looking for?
If you like drown at sea and like
yep.
you have weird shit happen to you.
That's pretty broad.
I mean, yeah, you gotta start broad to get like finer stuff.
You can look in the library. Might also want to ask Madam Elway.
Could. Anyway, let's go.
All right. You all head to the library and start looking for general information on stories that
library
happen
first.
No, it's the first
Let's
one
have
that
a
was
look.
stated. So you'll go to the
She
library.
leads you
and
to
look for
the
some-
library.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yes, you all can go to the library and you start looking for some general information on some stories about people who have drowned at sea. I mean, more or less what you'd
Is
find
Ash
is...
dead again?
No, I'm not. Can you
No,
just
he's
hear me?
not. Can you just not hear him?
I don't think Failsy can hear Ash.
How many of you guys can hear me?
I can.
Oh no!
I can.
Can't.
Yeah, I can hear
I can't hear Ash since I rejoined.
you. That's weird.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was weird. Oh well, at least it was easily fixed.
Yes.
Man, you gotta love Discord.
Mhm.
Great enter.
And yet still better than Skype.
I mean, it's not much of a competition. Still though.
And
Let's see. What was the roll? 2-1, not bad.
that's good.
You're able to go to the library and looking up this info. There's most of what you find is that generally when people drown, they die.
Yeah.
People
But-
die when they are killed.
People die when they are killed. It's weird. Except
Who'da
in some
thought?
rare case scenarios.
Yeah, that's true. Like Arya. Well, no, she did that.
She died when she was killed.
Anyways,
You're looking into it, and in most cases where there are any records of people drowning and surviving, there are some stories about heroes of long times past, hundreds of years ago, who had a death, or assumed to have had a death at sea, and returned. Some stronger, some not. It seems to be a pretty mixed bag about people, basically stories that include drowning at sea. It's either nothing happens, the person dies, or sometimes they return stronger than they were. Better leaders than they previously were. Though most of the stories just say learning from that experience is what led them to have a better grasp on their own capabilities. So it's hard to say.
Just like, well, I already knew, and the other half doesn't apply to the current situation.
Trying to separate player knowledge from what Failsy knows. For things that she could help with on this.
During the searching, Keta would kind of not like give full detail, but like briefly inform Failsy of why she's looking for it.
What was that reason? For Lee.
Yeah, Lee has some like weird abilities, and like he does have like bard magic, but like there's something else about him. Like
Where's my notes?
nobody knows.
Dream hints Kingfisher. Is it Kingfisher Island? Nope. Portable Joe. What?
Excuse me.
No, Felzy doesn't have a link to that.
If you
But
want to
there's-
message me about some of your player knowledge and see what Felzy herself knows, you can.
Hmm. Here, I'll quickly message her. Wait, that one. Link to
Alright, let's see.
Felzy's gotten some scattered answers on that,
I mean,
but she doesn't have the full picture of it.
based on what you have been told, there's potentially some connection there. Though it's the fact that you have such spotty information makes it hard to say whether or not that's the same thing.
Yeah,
It might have something.
LOA and ask her for questions.
Okay, I've asked Madame Miller and she doesn't know. She kind of has like a vague idea. I can try again, but like
Ask her a pretty direct question, like the right question.
kind of direct question.
There are some links to Lavanian offspring taking human forms.
No, I don't think that. No, I don't think so. I mean, no.
It's otherwise, I don't know. Maybe he's doing more magic that he doesn't know about.
I could ask her. I don't know if it's my place to ask her though. I mean, I feel kind of weird to ask, like, looking stuff up about him, but like, also it makes me insanely curious to the fact that like, it's like how you get when you want to see something, Failsy.
Oh, all the time.
Yes.
Well, how exciting would it be that you have a gigantic Lavani monster as a boyfriend?
Immediately face goes red, like, oh no, oh no.
I'll just leave that in your mind for a bit. Perfectly preposterous, but yeah. One can dream.
Oh no! Oh, I have now. I have to ask her.
I love making you all
Bah.
terrified.
I have a question.
All right.
I'm assuming Fails is having to run after her after a cat-shaped blur.
Probably. Just starts flying halfway through it without realizing it.
I mean, you can follow her from the intense smell of sugar.
Intense smell of sugar and panic.
Yeah, mostly just sugar, though.
Fair enough. All right. While they're sprinting to find Elway somewhere in the building, not knowing at all where she actually is, what's everyone else doing?
Outside.
I'm going to say that this is probably getting close to the night of your guys' second day before you leave. Your items have actually been delivered to your respective rooms at this point.
Oh, okay.
I'd actually like to have Morrigan talk with Dravince for a little.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go ahead and jump over to that then,
Yeah,
while the
makes
other two
sense.
are searching.
I imagine this would probably be taking place after the whole dance thing.
Probably.
Yeah, then Da Vinci would just kind of be standing guard along with Morrigan going through the place. Hmm.
You doing alright after that
You know?
thing with the rock shooting the light at you?
Y'all comment that that stone shot a light at me. I did not see anything.
Well, it did. What I saw was you took your little clock thing there out, and the light shot from the stone to you, and then you were on your knees.
What I saw was I took out the watch and then and then time stopped. Everything stopped around me. Just stood there dumbfounded. Then I opened up the watch and found myself someplace entirely different. A world of clocks and gears. A world of chaos, but also order, if that makes any sense.
It does.
And I eventually, exploring there, it was a fair while. I came across her,
Her?
broken. Altia.
Ah.
She had a bit more of a feminine form, so I'm assuming that. Anyway. She wasn't quite all there, so to speak. Could only sometimes talk, but she understood. She destroyed my watch and then put it back together. af- I asked her for help, and she did that. I asked her if I could help her, and that's when she told me to find her children. Then next thing I knew, I was right back with you folk. And that was it. No beam of light, no sudden burst. Just thrown from one place to another without understanding what was going on.
Well, it seems like we've been given similar jobs then by those of a higher power, huh?
Yeah, so it seems. It just feels nothing.
No, go ahead. What's on your mind?
I spent years and years just going from one thing to another. The only thing I've adhered to the most was my own training, that from my family and that from my calling. Than that, I've never made a promise or a deal that would last more than sometimes wouldn't even last a year. Some wouldn't even last for a few months. It just seems like a twist of fate for someone who doesn't want to have to be told what to do or be stuck on a path to suddenly have this on me. But that's none of your concern.
Well, you know how I feel, so it's at least a little of my concern. Regardless of how things go, I do care about you.
Thank you. But you don't have to worry about me. I'll find some way to manage. Just seems like fate plays a game on me.
The more you tell me not to worry, the more I'm gonna worry, Da Vinci.
I thought I was the one supposed to worry for your safety.
Oh, who says we can't worry for each other? Regardless of the reasoning for it.
I still hold on to my promise to get you through to Failhaven. Although after that, I don't know. I don't know what'll happen.
Well, you did also at the start of all this, when we just went in the caravan, you'd promised you'd show me around your area of Tezrel.
Well, that is true. But that kind of got a little on the wayside.
I do apologize for that.
It's not your fault that you ended up getting a vision of some terrible thing that's gonna happen soon. I'm still, at least you can make sense of yours. I'm still making sense of mine.
Fair, I suppose.
Chalk it up to another twist of fate. Here I am, not exactly one for following the churches, and yet I've seen two gods that have never been seen in years, eons. There's probably some churchgoers out there that would kill for an experience like that.
Possibly. We'll get it figured out, and I'll get myself figured out in the meantime. Or at least try to.
Take your time. Is that all you want to discuss for now?
Yeah, well, I did hear you. Well, yeah. Heard you were trying to find out more about your particular craft. Did you find anything out?
That one, they've got amazing dancers here. Although you might want to be careful talking about dancing around Failsy.
Noted.
Another dancer and we went, I guess, a little overboard. It's honestly the first time in a long time I've had a dance like that. We were surrounded by wind and flame. Oh, if only you could see it from the outside, it must have been spectacular.
That does sound interesting.
Anyway, I'm losing myself here. They have skilled trainers. And they have plenty of good resources, which It's understandable given that apparently my training came from here.
Yeah, it would make sense that you'd be able to find the best information about it at the source.
Well, I think that you did mention about wanting to have some lessons. Could maybe take some time to teach you here. See how well you do.
That would be nice, although I will warn you, I might step on your feet a few times.
I tend to have quick feet. Oh, so I think I'll be good.
All right then.
Shall we?
Why not?
Okay, Da Vinci is going to lead Morrigan over to the dance hall.
Alright. I'm assuming you all will spend some time attempting to dance.
Yes, main focus being trying to get Morrigan starting with just a few steps here and there and trying to get a feel for some of the motions.
Alright. Both of you go ahead and make performance checks. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say with disadvantage because you might have a high charisma, but I am assuming Morrigan probably doesn't have very much experience with actually dancing.
Outside of possibly like folk dances that would have been done in her old hometown, no.
Folk dances in her own hometown, which are essentially jumping around in a circle and screaming at each other.
Yeah.
It's dancing, but it's communal dancing. It's
Yeah.
not dancing the way Da Vinci does dancing.
Yeah, it's a different style.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing like, so have you done any dancing before? Oh, I've done this. Starts doing the hollering dance, the dance of just jumping around like a doofus, swinging your hand around in the air.
Kinda.
Okay, we got some work to do.
Alright. The performance at disadvantage.
Yeah.
And did you want Da Vinci to roll?
Yeah. Well, you got lucky.
What?
Damn.
That's a 21 at disadvantage.
Advantage because of the location?
Yours is going to be straight because it would otherwise be a disadvantage. Because you're attempting to teach someone who didn't know how to dance despite her role. Alright.
Well,
The first
so she
lesson
picked-
goes surprisingly well.
She's picking it up fast.
She has the footwork of a fencer, which is surprisingly useful for learning how to dance. It's not exactly, I hate to say this even with a high roll, it's not exactly the most beautiful dancing, but it is dancing.
Well, you're picking it up fast.
I guess all the sword work helps.
That it can do a lot of footwork while on the field. That gives me an idea.
Oh?
What if you were to try treating a dance, as he draws one of his swords, like a duel?
I mean, I'm willing to try, but I don't know how well that's gonna go.
Simple. Keep up the motions. Do as I do. And try not to actually hit me.
Try not to stab me in the stomach.
Go with the flat of the blade. Got it.
Alright. This will be another performance check. Still with disadvantage to eventually you get a straight roll.
9.
20. What
For
the
some
fuck?
reason, she's almost going faster than you are, Dravinche, but you've also noticed that I'm assuming you're using the Arya for this, not
Yeah.
one of his scimitars. You've also always noticed that the Arya, she treats it almost like a direct extension of her being, and given that it literally comes out of her arm, for as little as you understand the context of that, it kind of makes sense that maybe she's doing a little bit better. And then there are points where you have to kind of stop yourself because that blade's pretty long compared to what you dance with. And you have to actually, like, dodge out of the way at points. Because you don't want to get hit with that thing. It's sharp on all edges.
Yeah.
Like, there's no
just-
flat to the blade?
It has a flat, but being slapped with the flat is still going to cut you.
Ooh.
That blade is literally a razor-edged blade.
I
There
did
is
not
no
know this.
lightly press this thing against your skin.
I, as a player, did not know that, but Morrigan would probably know that.
Yeah, it's a crystal blade. It doesn't lose an edge. Or even if it does, it gets a new edge and just gets smaller.
You cannot subdue with this sword.
No, you can't.
Good thing she's got other weapons then.
I mean,
You,
Ooh.
have you can subdue with it, but you just hit them with the pommel.
yeah.
So I think
Yeah, there's no just smacking somebody upside the head with the flat and just knock them out.
Like, bonk on the head with the pommel. That's subdue damage with the Moonlit Aria.
Yeah.
Hang on, I need to take a quick look at the pommel.
I think it's sharp too.
It's like a dragon's tooth. Or like a tooth design.
No, it's flat.
It's flat, but it's got a
It's
bauble
rounded.
thing that you might stab into someone's head.
You could knock him out with it.
Yeah.
Sailor Moon looking sword.
I mean, makes sense.
I like my Sailor Moon looking sword.
I designed it, so I'm glad you do.
I like
Yee.
it. It's pretty and it's mine.
But yes. The reasoning for your lower performance check, Da Vinci, is because you actually have to stop dancing at points to get out of the way of that incredibly sharp sword.
Just a few times of whoa. Careful with the reach there.
It's the reach I'm used to. Sorry. I'm more amazed I'm actually understanding this.
You're being a quick learner. That's good. There might be hope for you yet in dancing.
Well, this is certainly different than the kind of dancing I've done back at home.
You're
mean-
at least getting the hang of the grace of it.
Complete and total opposite of what I'm used to.
I could tell that from your first dance. And for brevity's sake, they just kind of go about that for a little while before ending.
Yeah.
Alright then. You all have a good time dancing, and not much is gleaned from it other than a better understanding of how Dravinci does his thing for your sake, Morrigan.
Yeah.
Spell dancing is something that takes a long time to learn.
Yeah, and he's just focused on the dance, not even discussing the magic stuff of it.
Yeah.
Hey, it could help her footwork with just sword work in the future, so not gonna hurt.
On that note, I believe we'll go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we're going to resolve running off to find Elway.
Okay.
Coolies.
Alrighty.
I'm trying my best to keep everyone's stuff they say they want to do in mind.
Alright, well
Trying.
then,
Being
Do
the
a-
opposite thing.
a 5 to 10 minute break. Everybody go refill drinks, go bathroom, grab snacks, all that good stuff. Even if you just need to stretch your legs. Alright, back in 5 to 10, peoples.
Just making edits to my spell list since once Felzy attunes to that stuff, she'll have 2 new spells.
Yep.
I shouldn't have available. I should actually have the rules out for myself.
Yeah, although essentially for you, the only one that. Well, no, yeah, she cast mage armor on somebody else like Keta.
Yeah. But I should have the rules up for those spells so I can read them
Yeah.
and not waste time.
Yeah, it's mage armor and shield. Then while you have that staff attuned, you have +1 to AC.
Yeah.
It's actually one of those items that's while you hold that staff.
Oh, okay, never mind. I look.
It's one of those items.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Does the staff count as a quarterstaff?
It is a
Yeah.
quarterstaff.
Okay. Gemmel's
glass.
going to hate it with Felzy beating things to death with this nice glass staff.
I mean, it'll probably
It's
survive
magically-
better than your wooden staff will. to be
Yeah,
honest.
it's also magically reinforced.
Also, this way you don't have to swing your chewinga around.
yeah,
It's just in your staff, like ah.
yeah.
Well,
What are you doing out there?
Yeah, just going from one end to the other, like, wee! Okay,
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Felzy swings it,
Ow.
and there's a spray of puke from the side of the staff.
Either that or Helly swings it and you hear as the Twingo just gets launched. Just
Chewinga is blasting off again.
Yeah, Felzy was considering maybe getting a shoulder pad made.
Wooden shoulder pad. You really
Oh.
are becoming a fantasy protagonist.
yeah.
You've got a
Yeah,
random
Just the
wooden
one shoulder pad.
Go on.
What
Well, it's better than
I'm
having
guessing-
a stick in a bag.
I'm guessing it would be better though to get that like
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
not here because there's not much wood. So Felzy's just gonna have like 2 staffs strapped to her back.
Oh, yeah, dual wielding.
swing them staff.
I just think it's great that if you have the dual wielder feet, you can dual wield quarter staffs. It's like, but why?
Oh, why the fuck?
Or
all of the beaten sticks.
or dual wielding clubs.
Would you like to share your realization from earlier about what Keta is that you shared with me?
Yeah, Keta is just Kirby. Small, cute, eats everything, pink, absolute baby.
And has lots of friends.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow.
And sometimes just makes random sounds that mean nothing.
And occasionally murder someone.
And also soft and cuddly. At least, I okay. I mean, Kirby might just have like he's like
He
a
might be
ball.
scaly.
I feel like Kirby would be like a balloon or like just like a rubber ball.
I think
Kirby's covered in
Kirby-
scales.
I think Kirby, like, canon-wise, has the consistency of a ball of mochi.
That would make sense actually.
I've never actually played any of the Kirby games.
They're
I just know him from like Super Mario, Super Smash Brothers.
Hello, he had a TV show. It actually wasn't. It wasn't bad.
But it really
Probably
just
in
reminds you of the
America,
fact that
wasn't in Australia.
Kirby
Yeah.
in the TV show was literally a baby, though. In the games, he's not treated that same way.
Yeah, Kirby was absolutely just a baby.
I'm a bit concerned with Nintendo these days.
Why? Keep in mind we're on
They've,
stream.
Well, their Vor characters
Oh,
are
we have a
now
few.
made out of craft paper. Yoshi's now made of wool, and Kirby's made out of wool as well, or a string.
I've actually played Kirby's Epic Yarn. It's a really fun game. I would actually play that with Danny. And remind her that I'm better at platformers than she is.
I just think that Kirby's special power is literally just eating people.
Yeah, but they've kind of removed that with turning him into a piece of string.
No, now he eats their string and gains their powers.
Yes, it's slightly less horrifying than him actually eating a person.
He sucks them up like fucking spaghetti.
Yes, he does actually.
That's more terrifying.
You want to know what's even more terrifying? In that game, you can like whip people with yarn and then crunch them into a tiny ball to throw them at other people.
Kirby's a sociopathic monster.
You're only now just realizing that?
Oh no.
No, he's a wow baby.
He is, which is why he's a sociopath. Kirby is the example of an absolutely feral baby.
Edge, could I get a written description of the skirt?
I mean, I don't have one typed up, but I can tell you what it looks like.
I mean, like what it does. Just want to make sure.
Oh, it acts as a cloak of displacement while you have momentum.
Is Davinci gonna work on Keta's circlet at the temple?
Yes, he'll take some time in like the evenings to work on it.
I feel like I needed to say something, but I don't remember what it was.
I return.
Welcome back.
I think that's everything that I needed to write down. I was just moving the descriptions of my items as feats.
That's what I tend to do.
Yeah, I was just getting it out of my long list of notes. That's just notes.
Oh yeah, the amount of damage was elemental bolts too.
That is the glass stuff, and that is the
One is off everything.
braces, and the last thing is boots, which Felzy got one for everyone.
Wait, Keta had the amulet of that amulet by now?
No, not yet.
No, not yet.
It would have been delivered to Brimstone.
Yes,
Well, no.
it was delivered to Brimstone, so it's up to him to give it to her.
It would have been delivered before Ketchup fucked with the brand. So he probably would have given it to her then.
Just got reminded with all the talk of magic items.
Yeah. Yeah, so Ketchup would have the,
But
the periaptive wound closure. Periaptive, stop fucking dying, goddammit.
just before he leaves, it's just like, this is so you stop fucking dying, child.
Yeah. So when you get knocked out, you're not in danger of dying as much.
Less danger of dead.
You're not in danger of bleeding out.
We finally get to Grainham, and Brimstone just holds up a severed arm of Keta. It's like, I tried.
No. At that point, Brimstone would not go back.
it
Like,
would be just like, well, fuck. I live my life as a hermit now.
They're gonna
It's like
find me
she's-
anyways. I'm just gonna make it a pain in the ass to find me.
She's not even dead. She just lost an arm.
Yeah, she's like, Brimstone, I'm right here. It's like, yeah, I know.
Doesn't matter.
I don't. Your
Yeah,
mom terrifies me enough to like not go back.
Your mother can probably fix this, but I'm not gonna hear the fucking end of it. I don't know how powerful she is.
Catch
All,
on
Brim-
it. No.
all Brimstone knows is that she's powerful enough.
I don't have a character sheet for her yet.
I didn't figure that, but again, it's all Brimstone knows. Powerful enough, just like his dad. He doesn't have any real comparative metric. Just enough.
I think we're all back.
Are we?
No, Danny's back.
Yee.
So we are all back.
I think the giant maple syrup man died.
I'm still here.
God damn it! I can't drink them yet.
What is Keta's dex?
X is 14 at the moment.
+2. That's
With the shield, it brings her armor class up to 16. If you're wondering.
I was just wondering if mage armor doesn't really help Keta either.
I mean, it does. It gives her
Yeah.
1 point. It gives her another point.
Though she should probably learn shield.
Yeah. It's just
I get you.
mage armor doesn't really work for Failsy because she has
She
natural
already
armor,
has it. Yeah, she already has effectively permanent mage armor.
and Keta's I think maybe Dravenche.
No,
Wait.
because
Doesn't have
Dravenche's. Well, yeah, but Dravenche's adds his charisma to his unarmored.
Yeah, so mage armor. Dravenche would have the same armor class if he had mage armor as he does normally.
Okay.
Yeah, and then at later levels he'll actually have less.
Yeah. But I suppose that was the weak spell for the staff. The other one is Failsy has shield.
I mean,
Yep, you
for
can
the
cast
most part,
shield 5 times for free.
yeah, for the most part, that staff is good because it's like for wizards who don't get any armor proficiency and generally don't have an unarmored defense.
Yeah. That and
Yeah,
the +1 to AC is like, yeah.
Yeah, unless they're lizard folk. I do want to make a lizard wizard.
Okay, who knows Blizzard?
Oh.
Okay. I think I got all the programming done for these items.
Wizard. Oh yeah. None. That's my favorite thing in the session.
Probably not attuned to it yet, but I have it all set up for later.
I mean, we've had the night before we head out to do so.
Yeah. Any items you guys want to attune to, you can do so.
Yeah.
I'm attuning to the Harriet.
The skirt, which I just kind of named Dancer's Grace,
That's good.
is that attunement or no?
I forget. Is a Cloak of Displacement attunement?
Original.
No, I don't think so. Let me just double check.
I'm gonna find out real quick. Give me a second.
Displacement. Yes. It is.
Then, yes.
Okay,
Cloak of Displacement requires attunement, so yes, you would need to attune to this item. Actually, no, because it has a stipulation that it only works while you have momentum. I'm gonna say that it does not require attunement.
Okay, that's fair.
The reason, one of the reasons why I was thinking it wouldn't is because when you thought that I had it but didn't, you were just like, oh yeah, you immediately have this effect.
I mean, when I thought that you had it but it didn't, I thought I gave it to you immediately, and then hours had passed, so I would have figured you were already attuned to it.
Before
I'm
we
gonna say
get
that it doesn't require attunement.
back, Ash, I just have a question. My bardic focus
Yes,
Magic
your
item.
instrument.
Does that require attunement? You never told me or not.
Those items you guys have either don't require attunement or have what is called the soulbound property.
Yeah, like I think Failsies and Brimstones and
Okay, so it's Failsy's
So they-
Prayer Beads, Soulbound.
yeah. So they don't occupy an attunement slot.
Okay,
They do
I'd
not
have them in the
occupy an
attunement slot.
attunement slot, but their magical benefits only work for you.
I
Yeah.
don't.
I'm gonna say
So-
that, given that it was specifically made for Keta, probably also occupies that same thing.
The Vicantum is soulbound then.
I think the only one that isn't is the watch.
Yeah,
Okay,
as far as we know.
As far as we know.
'Cause
Yeah, it could have magically become soulbound when Da Vinci took
Yeah.
a quest from the goddess herself.
Yeah, because like it's kind of hard to remove the Moonlit Aria from Morrigan, considering it's like inside of her.
I mean, also you can't lose the attunement to your base
That
pack
too.
blade, anyways.
Yeah, that too. Failsy. I don't know where she got those from.
It's hard to lose
Beats?
attunement to a thing that's inside you. What?
Yeah, Brimstone just literally burned into his flesh.
And
You guys have to
was...
stop putting magical items in your bodies.
I
Keta has not put one
Brimstone-
magical item in her body.
Brimstone didn't have a choice.
No, you really didn't.
His dad was like, "Get the fuck up, kid." Just slapped it on. Get up. I ain't done torturing you yet. Fuck.
Slap, 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 slap.
Can't wait to ask.
I don't picture it was multiple. It was just one big one. Considering his dad's a pit fiend, his hand is probably the size of Brimstone's head.
Whip. Literally just backhands you by flicking you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Alright.
how many Soulbound things can you have?
You don't know.
Failsy has 3 now.
None of you guys have even questioned what a soul binding is. Like, in character.
It's this thing that I can't fucking take off. That's
Don't-
all.
I don't know
None of us
if it,
know.
All you know is that for some reason those magical items work for you and only you.
Mhm.
To everyone else, they function as mundane versions.
Right.
So now Failsy has 2 attunement slots left.
So does Brimstone.
Wait, is the watch not a soulbound item? It's supposed.
You never mentioned it as one. You mentioned it as attunement.
Weird. I thought all of the starting items were soulbound. I think because the watch was actually based off of something rather than something directly made for Da Vinci.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was at least
like
my
it was.
assumption of it.
It was something provided to him.
Yeah.
So
It
it,
wasn't
could
like
be
other
soulbound now because of the whole interaction with Altea,
I'll
but
say yes to that one.
That makes sense.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
So, Da Vinci, you feel even more attuned to the watch now.
like it's a
Because
part
with
of you.
With gaining the soulbound property, this is important for all of you. You always know where that item is, as long as it's within 1 mile of your person.
Kind of hard for Brimstone to lose his.
I always know where it is. It's right there.
Yeah, wait. Why is it? God damn it! Who cut my arm off?
All right,
that up.
where is it? Where's my arm? It's over there.
how did you not notice that?
I don't
Just
know.
but a scratch.
My arm's always in pain.
What I'm picturing, it's not that somebody cut it off. It's just like a Lego. Like somebody just literally just popped it out of the socket. Like yeah, like no ragged flesh or anything. It's like a clean break. It's just like what the fuck? How can I do that?
Oh, before we go into the questioning of Elway, I actually rolled for something, and the Chewinga does actually give you a gift, Failsy,
Oh,
in exchange for giving it some honey that you found.
Oh, nice.
get you a gift. It's a grenade. Where'd it get it from? Probably Brimstone.
It actually, its face turns into something, and it rips its own face off and hands it to you.
Oh god, that's metal as fuck.
Its face turns into what appears to be almost looks to be a depiction of a stained glass window with a sun rising behind it.
Oh, how kind of
It's-
you.
Yes. It just ripped its own face mask off and then hid back inside your staff before you could see what was underneath.
Thank you? Question mark?
It feels magical.
Felzy examines it and stows her staff on her back, I guess.
She's
I'm
running
assuming
as
you're
she examines it.
And
I'm
also
assuming-
casing.
All right. I'm going to say that you guys catch up to Elway, and while Keta is questioning Elway, you can ritual cast Identify on this item. As you listen and can speak sometimes. So I'll tell you what it is whenever we get done with this conversation.
Okay.
I can wait.
Felzy keep it in the back of her mind to figure out what her family's given her.
So yes, you're able to catch up with Madame Elway. She's just sitting, dipping her feet over the edge of the bridge into the water. Well,
Lovely.
she's like on the sand that's beside the bridge because she was trying to dip her feet into the edge of the water. Her legs would be stretching like 10 feet downwards. Which isn't out of the question, but would look really weird.
Kind of
So she's just like sitting on the beach, like kicking her feet in the water.
takes a moment to catch her breath from the running.
What had you come running?
I have a question that Frielzy put in my head that I have much concern over.
All right, come here. She just sort of like pats beside her.
Just sit down next to her. Question, and I know it's odd, and I'm very sorry for it, but for like, I know that like what you are, you can take a human form, but like if you were to have an offspring with like say human, half human, half you, or like a full like you.
Here, right.
I believe that would depend.
To be more clear, it's the it's the fact that I had that Lee might be like Lee, there's a infinity chance this might be a thing, but like I was looking at like stuff what Lee has, the weird magic thing around him. I don't know. Put in my head that he might, one of his parents could have been Levani, but I don't know. I don't think it's real. It's just I have a lot of
Well, even if it were that case, there is no point in questioning.
I mean,
If we have one of my race has a child with another mortal, they are born as that mortal.
okay.
They are certainly gifted with an unnatural beauty, but they are that mortal.
Cat just staring into the water like,
You see Lee's face slowly rise up.
Hi.
Curls
Pointed
up-
question. Hi.
She curls up into a ball. It's like, oh god, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Okay. Bye. Just slowly sinks back down.
Point of clarification: when you say born as that mortal, do you mean as an offspring of that mortal, or as that mortal itself?
As an offspring of that mortal. If we have a child with a human, the child is human.
Like, he wouldn't be a half orc. He'd be a full orc.
Then I'm not certain. I do not know his lineage.
Kind of buries her face in her hands and just lets out a small scream, like.
Elra reaches over and just gently pats you on the head.
Okay, I know he's magic, but like, part of his magic is bard magic. Nice spells.
Bardic magic is a magic born of wanting to please your audience. It may simply be that he has such a desire to please that he doesn't even realize that he's manifesting it as a form of magic.
I could figure that, but like, there's the other fact of like, Lady Voltoya recognized something odd about him, and then you recognize something odd about him.
There's nothing odd about him. I didn't recognize something odd, Keta. I
Not
merely
odd, but,
said
like,
he reminded me of someone.
I am going crazy. I am going crazy.
That's only natural. She almost gives you like as sincere a look as Elway's face can give for being so relatively non-expressive. You're in a very rough situation. And for one so young, it's only natural.
I don't know. It's just don't add up. Want to like help and like help him find out the information, but like it's like I'm spiraling down a hole of like questions with no answers.
Then do you need to ask them?
Who?
Who?
That's the thing. They're like the.
Did you mishear what I said?
Did what I heard
She
was
said, then do you even need to ask them?
hear the even part. I don't have to. I guess it's my own burning curiosity.
There are two responses to finding a question without an answer. Digging in and creating your own answer, be it wrong or right, or merely allowing it to continue to be a mystery. There's some sense in both approaches.
What if you let it be a mystery to the point that it might hurt somebody eventually if it comes up? You could have prevented something if you knew the information beforehand.
What are you worried about?
A lot of things. I mean, following us into very dangerous situations. And I don't want him to, but like I want to be him to risk himself and then have something bad happen because situation. If anything happens in response to something bad happening to him, I don't know.
Well, I think he's a strong boy. I think he'll handle himself well. He may not be as strong as any of you, but I'm certain that he has his own abilities.
Yeah, I can teach him like a little bit more since we have similar magic.
Maybe.
After all, most of my spells come through thought and it's an old process. You madam away.
Not a problem.
If you do think of who he reminds you of, might be able to find a story about the person.
Can you repeat what you just said? You cut out.
If let me know who he reminds you of, I might be able to find a story about the person.
I'll let you know if anything comes to mind.
After having her burning curiosity shaded for now, going to head back inside. Maybe have a word with Failsy about worrying her so much, but for the most part, and just make sure her stuff is packed up for when they leave out.
Alright. Meanwhile, Failsy, you have identified this little thing given to you by the Chewinga.
Yes.
You've identified it as a Boros charm.
A Boros charm.
Boros. It is a charm with a single charge within it. When you activate this charm, you can cast the Crusader's Mantle or the Haste spell, requiring no concentration. Alternatively, you can cast the Guiding Bolt spell, and if it hits, you regain a number of hit points equal to the damage it deals. I'll IM that to you. Also, I read a different charm. This does technically still require concentration, sorry. But it is useful.
Well.
So it does require concentration. I was reading a different effect and got confused because there's a lot of effects. But that is the ability of the Boros charm. All right. So I'll say as the night draws close to the final day of the Festival of Radiance, you've all gathered up the items created for you by the temple. If there are any last-minute inclusions, state them now and they would have retroactively been added. I'll be nice that way. No more magic stuff, though. You guys have already gotten enough magic stuff.
Oh, no, 100%. Nah, I'm...
No need.
Otherwise, you can all gather up for a final evening's feast. Yet another incredibly
Not
well,
that-
but
I just said yes. We're gathering up.
what?
What?
A bunch of people just suddenly started talking at the same time.
I
on
don't
my
know.
end.
What?
I'm confused.
I didn't hear anyone talking.
Bailey,
think-
you were the one who was talking.
That must have been a fucking massive delay then.
It was
Anyway,
quiet and then
continue.
burst of noise.
All right. Sorry, that freaked my brain out for a second because I guess Discord glitched and I heard like 4 of you talking at the same time. That was weird. Or it just made a bunch of sound randomly. Oh well.
I don't know, man.
I'm confused. I'm dazed and scared. Anyways, you gather for the final night of the Festival of Radiance. Seeing the same display you had previously seen. Food is very similar to one of the nights previous, where there is the large roasted lizard well caked with spices. Though off to the side, there is what looks to be a gigantic flatbread with more normal meats on it, with that looks a bit more appealing to those who are not Tezverel native.
The baby tongues.
Yes, your
Yes,
baby tongues are
Especially the baby.
and Borgan, probably.
Yeah, that's
Nah, man, she's been trying the Tezverel stuff because she wants to try it.
Fair enough, but it is still quite intense for what you're used to.
Hey,
From the
she's
Pittsburgh styles.
It's like when you have the white person join a bunch of people at an Asian restaurant. They're eating all the spicy food and they're suffering through the spicy food because they don't want to wuss out amongst all the other people.
Alright. But yeah, if you're enjoying the spicy food as well, it's intense but doable.
well, she has heard that tieflings tend to come from Tezverel, so she kind of wants to learn the food from there, and I would think she's probably starting to like it.
That's my dog.
Oh, the Discord died for a second. Alright. But, final night aside, you guys have gotten all your items. Your cart has been well stocked, and the final night of the Festival of Radiance, if you would like to do anything, is before you.
Keta would encourage Lee to talk to, like, maybe he's lost somebody. I don't know. She wants to at least have him have a part of the fun.
I mean, you need to know the name, don't ya?
It doesn't. I mean, you could. I think. Yeah, probably. At least doesn't have.
I guess I could try asking about my mom.
Good. Never harm in trying.
Okay.
To go up with you.
Okay, that helps.
I can hold your hand. I mean, it really your hand is bigger than mine, but you know what I mean.
You have tiny hands, Keta, but they are great.
Oh,
Well,
Her hand on the outside of his, like she's holding his hand.
adorable.
Right, take both of her hands, but she's gonna do it.
I mean, his hands aren't that big compared to yours.
Probably just
Like,
longer
if
fingers.
If he held your hand in his, it would eclipse yours, but you aren't like dwarfed by him. Because he's not a giant, he's just big.
Just a big boy. And eating right.
Yeah, he eats real good.
I mean, you know.
He walks up to one of the priestesses. Oh,
Some inspiration. At least, just wait.
you inspire him. I'm actually gonna
Gonna
make a
kiss
check
his
this.
hand.
Aw, that's adorbs.
Yeah.
Four. Time to make a wisdom check
Ah,
for this boy to see if he can keep his nerves.
So noisy.
Alright, and you inspired him as a D6.
Yes.
Alright. Alright, that's a pretty good score for you, Lee.
Comparatively.
I mean, with basically no bonus, that's a great score.
Yeah.
It's a total 26.
Jesus.
I mean, it was a good roll. It was a really good roll.
Yeah.
With no wisdom modifier, he rolled a 19. Jack of all trades gave him a +1, and then he rolled a 6 on the D6.
Right. So, damn.
I mean, it's always kind of weird to say your parents' name. Oh. So yeah, he walks up, and I'm assuming you're staying close to him.
Holding his hand the entire time.
I hate to be a bother. And the Yuan Ti priestess does look down at him, giving him a smile. Just gestures for him to continue. Could you try to connect to someone? Mama, Sarah Fellwind? And she nods and offers to take his hand, as you've seen this ritual go many times. He takes hers and focuses. Now, before I continue, did anyone need that name written down? Or did you catch it?
I need it written down.
That is the name of the woman Lee calls his mother.
Right.
The Yuan Ti woman just sort of nods after hearing the name and takes his hand and focuses. And slowly turns back to him. I'm sorry, dear. She seems to not be reachable. He just sort of looks kind of down and dejected, but just sort of nods. I figured as much. She's been gone a while.
Maybe she was reborn. You never know.
I mean, I guess that would be the good part. I just wish I could have talked to her again.
Do you like a hug?
Yeah. Always.
Gonna hug him real tight.
He returns, less tight because him hugging tight might crush you.
I thought it would help.
It's fine. I guess I could tell you about her. That might be kind of similar.
Always up for a good story.
Yeah.
Do you look like you need a sweet?
I mean, I can always have a sweet. So you
Yes,
guys
ma'am.
are going to. He takes you away from the priestess as other people come up to do the ritual.
Sure, they're not in like a very crowded area, and
Yeah.
maybe get some cookies or something of the sort to share between them.
Yeah. Ceres Fellwind. That was my mom's name. I mean, she wasn't really like my mama.
The one that gave birth to you, but like the one that raised you.
Yeah, I never really met. I guess it's
Mom?
all kind of hazy. But I was talking to Da Vinci about this as well. But honestly, the more I think about it, the weirder it gets in my head. I remember mom, like my mom, my mother. She died. And she was one of the captains, guess you'd say, what's Da Vinci like?
Performer?
No. There's a word for it.
Prostitute? Would it be me?
I don't know that word, but maybe. I don't think so,
You pay to sleep with you. Or sir.
I guess maybe? No, though. No, I was more meaning like someone who's all fancy and pretty and you like them a lot and you have a lot of them around.
Concubine!
That's the word. Thank you. I couldn't think of it. That was actually the word.
Ketra probably only knows that from reading about her aunt.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, I don't actually know if that's what Fenfei does, but he seems like he could if he wanted to. He's a pretty man.
You're also a very pretty man too.
Yeah. Big orky smile. But yeah, she was like one of the captain's concubines. I guess that's right. The captain, he had a lot of like lady friends. Mama was one of them, and Ceres. You know Jonathan and Elodie? Ceres was like that for the captain. Like his second in command. She took a liking to me. And she wasn't too involved in things. She'd like to stay below deck and plan things and cook. She was like a navigator, I guess.
The one that taught you how to cook.
One of the people, yeah. She took a real interest in it. And because of her, I took an interest in it. And then we'd occasionally rob people on the sea and all sorts of new foods and new people. I mean, I'm pretty sure they were pirates, but I don't like saying it.
I mean, if they're the thing is, if they're at least somewhat well-known pirates, there must be at least accounts of them, and then you have like a list of maybe the people who are on the ship.
I guess maybe, but Gon's ship, back when he was still like a military man, he captured them. And Well, he sunk the ship. Well, for some reason he kept me, and I don't understand why, but to be honest, I'm thankful. Even if it's been a little rough when I was serving with him.
Probably just a kid at the time. He didn't want to capture a kid.
There were other kids on that boat. I don't know. Whatever his reason, he had it. Anywho, but yeah, that was said as she was like a mom. She was real nice, like. Kinda wish I could have known her better longer, but I'm pretty sure she's dead now.
Maybe if she can't be reached, then maybe either she was reborn or maybe she's not dead.
I guess it's possible.
Well, I don't know the spell yet, but like, I know that like you can know. No, I don't think you can know it. I don't know.
I don't understand the spells and stuff, Kenta. They're weird. You like wiggle your fingers around and you make.
Oh, you make magic
I
happen
mean-
too.
I don't make magic happen. Well, I make magic happen, but I don't make like sparkle magic happen. I make real magic happen. I take a bunch of stuff, I put it in a pot, it does bubble, and then suddenly food comes out.
My magic then. Is it sparkle magic?
I mean, some of it is. You literally turned yourself sparkly a few days ago.
I took what my aunt can do to people and then I learned it myself.
Your aunt can make herself real sparkly.
Well, she can do it to other people. Takes Lee's hand and casts it on him. I can cast it on you, and basically she can put it on
Nothing
other people.
happens.
And they like pause and like stand up and like look around him.
You felt the spell go off, but Lee didn't change.
A little strange.
I mean,
You
he
can
has a
hear it.
little bit of a glow about him, but he didn't really change.
He's so handsome.
I mean,
Not much to change. Gonna pinch his cheek a little bit. There's a spell that I know that I can contact with, like I can try to contact my mom with, that is like called sending. And like you can contact anyone in the world. As long as they're like on this plane of existence.
no, don't include that part. You don't know about other planes of existence.
It's just like anywhere in the world. So like when I was on Kingfisher Island, I talked to my mom, and she's all the way in Greenham. So if I could like find a scroll of the spell, and like you read it out, and like it goes through, you can maybe try to contact her. Or I mean, maybe ask my dad if he knows anything about like ships that were captured, because he was in the military too. I'm not too sure that Brimstone know, because Brimstone attention to many things.
That seems fair.
But, like my dad's really smart, and like he's like really good with like planning things. like be something we work on together. I'll help you learn magic.
I don't think I can learn. Well, I know. I don't like talking about it.
Patch, like I can teach you how to patch up wounds.
I can already do that.
Like I can do like I can show you the smaller version that I know.
I can already put a band-aid on something. It's fine.
But what don't you like talking about?
Anyways, I don't like talking about it, but I do kinda know how to do one spell.
You trust me enough to tell me about it?
Yes. It's like a spell I can do where I make someone like real friendly like for like an hour. And I don't always mean to do it. And it's just like I think they're just suddenly real friendly with me, and then like an hour later they get real mad at me. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Roll an Arcana check on that.
Yeah, roll an Arcana check with advantage. Or if you actually have the spell Charm Person, you can immediately recognize it.
Does not have Charm Person as a spell. She has mainly kind of damagey spells.
Gotcha. So yeah, Arcana check with advantage, because it is in your class list.
That's a 7.
You're like, that sounds familiar. That sounds like something I know bards can do.
Okay.
But you don't... Lee doesn't seem to recognize it as a spell. Or it doesn't seem to recognize it as being part of a bard. He just seems to recognize it as something he can do.
Okay. Why don't you cast a spell on me?
Okay. I mean, it's actually kind of hard to do on purpose, but I'll try.
Okay. Me as like some random person then.
Some random person, I know. He looks at Brimstone. Brimstone, we're friends, aren't we? Brimstone, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
No.
You're charmed. We're
I mean,
friends, right?
I mean, I guess.
He just looks at Keta and just like points at Brimstone.
Cast. Don't want to shoot him, right?
I never did.
See, he's even telling the truth. I hope.
Brimstone just confused, like, I don't know what's going on.
How long have you been able to do it?
A while.
Like before you
since-
could summon a hand? That like the hand that
Can't
holds like
summon a hand.
you had it as long as you've had your imaginary friend.
Longer. He came around sometime. Well, he started actually being able to pick things up sometime. That was weird. But it was before he could pick things up.
Okay.
I've had this since I was... I mean, I still don't know how old I am. I barely did a figure that. But since I was like early teenager,
Like
I learned how to
13.
cook.
Could Cantor roll another Arcana check or Intelligence check to see if this is something similar to her being able to like cast light and thaumaturgy?
Yes, but this is a high DC.
Wait.
Oh, nice. It feels like it is. Though, The idea of using a charm spell is something that's inborn in your blood definitely is not something you've ever heard of an orc doing.
Because she's been around a lot of orcs.
They don't typically have magic to begin with, and they typically can't learn magic unless it's like druidic. So
Well,
this is
okay.
bizarre.
Lee, I'm gonna show you something. Don't freak out.
I cannot promise anything. But
She's
I'll
going
try.
to kind of snap her fingers and kind of make her eyes go like a bright pink.
Okay.
Uh.
You got glowy eyes.
That is something that I know.
That's just sparkle magic.
No. Okay. That is something I know because my dad is a tiefling.
Okay.
And she's gonna let the kind of thaumaturgy fade on her eyes, and then she's gonna kind of make her hand glow. Then I know this because my mom is my mom, and I've known them since I was like real little. Really started showing through when I kind of hit like an early teenager. Like I don't even think early teenager. Like maybe I was 10.
Okay.
It's like. So it's like I can do that. Me, and I'm very weird. So,
okay,
that ability as like you can do it because it's probably like in your blood.
He's making like a face of like, I don't understand. This is strange. You don't even need to insight him. He's just like, I'm trying so hard to understand this, but my brain is currently exploding.
Okay, so Brimstone doesn't use magic, right? Right.
I don't think so. Brimstone, you don't use magic, do you?
I mean, I can. I'm just not very good at it.
He has it because he's a tiefling.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm getting more confused by the second, Kenta.
So
I don't know how to explain it.
I mean,
Brimstone, come over here. You're better at simple stuff.
what?
Lee can cast a spell. Lee can cast something like, you know how you can do like your little illusion thing?
Yeah.
He's been able to do that before he had the other magic.
Then it'll do what?
Sweat beads forming on Lee's forehead. I'm going to say because of that, he's actually going to break concentration. You're going to suddenly realize you were charmed.
Oh. What the fuck?
I'm sorry.
Don't get mad at him. Okay.
Yeah, just whatever.
I don't know why I can do it, but I can.
Like, my thought is the fact that it's like in his blood, like how you have your magic and I have my magic. Like, I don't want to say it's blood magic because that's kind of creepy and weird.
No,
I don't know.
I always forget if Lee is a half orc or a full orc. He's a full orc, right?
Yeah, he's a full orc.
Huh. That's weird.
Oh, it's a little weird.
Like, I don't know many orcs, personally. I'm counting a few. But yeah, no, usually they can't do that.
I know one other bit of sparkle magic, but I really don't like using it.
You showed us your sparkle magic.
No, I got one other one. I can slap people from really far away.
Uh-huh.
What should I try it on to prove this?
Not me.
Okay.
I mean, you're not far away. I don't need to slap you from far away.
How
Yeah,
far
sure.
away? About how
Again,
far away?
not me.
I don't know. I don't really use it to test it. I just know it happens sometimes.
Just gonna go
When I'm
about
like
20,
really frustrated.
like 20 feet away and like, all right, hit me.
No. If I'm gonna hit anyone, I'm gonna hit Failsafe.
Does it have to be a person, or can you hit a thing?
Or I can definitely hit a thing. Well, I could try to hit a thing. He makes like the I don't know if I will face.
Just
I
kind
don't
of,
have good aim.
just kind of looks out, trying to see like something like 20 feet away. Like,
I mean,
Can
there's some like fruit bowls scattered around.
no, well, like preferably something with nothing in it.
You could dump a fruit bowl out and just have a bowl.
Gonna say, how about a chair? We know
Yeah,
that-
or that.
Chairs.
There's also like torch sconces on the wall occasionally.
Ketch is gonna empty out a fruit bowl and like grab a fruit bowl and be like,
So you want me to try to slap the fruit bowl, right?
I mean, it's better than hitting a person.
Good point.
I'm willing, but he doesn't want to hit me.
Well, yeah, because he thinks it's rude. I mean, it is.
If I'm offering.
Still.
He's gonna raise his hand up like he's gonna make a slapping motion, and he'll like sword.
You roboted out real hard just then.
Roll 20 a big. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
It's a little
Am I
rocky.
better?
For now.
Okay. I'm gonna disconnect and.
Sure.
At those nerves on like.
Are you there?
All right, can you hear
Yeah.
me now?
Yeah.
Also, I see you all talking in the chat. He's not slapping a person, especially not with what you're about to see, considering what he rolled.
Oh boy.
You see, he raises his hand up, and then the slapping motion, and you see a wave of force come out of his hand as he casts the Eldritch.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, he cast what?
Eldritch Fire.
Sorry, I can't hear Ash at the
Everyone-
moment. If you
Beep, better, boop, bop.
Everybody's jumping in and out. I felt left out.
All right. So, Lee raises, swings it forward, and you guys just see a blast of force come out of his palm as he brings it down. Okay, explodes.
Oh damn.
wait, what happened to the bowl?
It
Exploded.
was like a stone that a wave of force out of it explodes. Like it shattered to
Holy
pieces.
shit, you are roboting so
and
badly.
he suddenly head into his neck, just being like, "Oh, that's why."
Is Ketch now covered in stone dust?
Well, it's like chunks of rock. It didn't get like vaporized; it just got shattered.
Wait.
And Morrigan, you hear a very familiar sound behind you.
Yeah, just points at Keta, or not, points at Lee. Back to Morgan.
The fuck was that?
Lee
You just
slapped
see
a
Lee's
bowl.
head. You just see Lee's head like receding into his neckline, like he's a turtle or something.
What happened to that bowl?
Alright,
I think-
that sounded familiar. Somebody explain to me exactly what the fuck just happened.
I slapped
guys-
Lee.
Lee slapped a bowl, and he did something very similar to what you can do. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I slapped a ball from really far away.
Yeah, that.
Okay,
Real hard.
what the fuck? Alright, is there any kind of roll to do to see if Morrigan can recognize that?
You have the spell, so you recognize it as an Eldritch Blast.
It's like, wait, what?
Just a concussive wave of force that you can produce.
Lee?
Sorry.
Lee, you've seen me do that, haven't you?
Actually, not really. I'm not around too often when you guys are fighting, and usually you're just using a sword.
Right, but I can do that too. I mean, I'm not gonna show it off right now because I'm afraid it could, break something.
Several of the ONT in the room are just sort of staring at you guys, and Lee's head further recedes into his own neckline.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Kat just kind of has her arms wrapped around Lee. It's okay. It's okay.
I did it back.
Not necessarily. Oh my gods.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry.
Lee,
William, I'm
there's
sorry.
nothing to apologize for.
I'll make them a new
Let's-
bowl. Before
How about
we
we
leave.
take? How about we take this to another room and discuss things further?
That's a good
How
idea.
about we do it not here in the temple?
Out to the boat. He just starts running outdoor. Like with his head still like in his neckline, just like
You just had to say it, didn't you?
Is Kenta still? Does Kenta still hold on to him?
pretty yeah, Keta just disappears as he starts running forward.
Why that cut? But that reminds me of another list of things to do later.
The failsy list grows. Alright, so he just ran off with Keta. What's everyone else doing?
Chase after him.
Follow.
Oh, I guess we're doing this now. Okay.
Alright. Failsy?
Kenta's
trying to,
guide
Let's not take part in the part of the ritual, like the festival.
You said Failsy won't.
Figured out someone she wants to try and contact. If he exists and if she can reach someone she doesn't know.
I will say, for the sake of brevity, with your loose connection and two, how long ago that was, you don't get any connection from that name.
Worth a shot.
Yeah. Are you just gonna munch on food and feed your familiar, or are you gonna go after the rest of the party?
Yeah, Felzy will chase after then if she doesn't have any.
Alright. So you all are outside. The boat's actually fairly close to the bridge right now, so getting on it's not that hard. Keta, you are more or less thrown onto the bow, and then Lee jumped onto the rope ladder and started climbing up. He figured
moment to
throwing
breathe.
you was fine because you can just fly if he missed.
Do I have to make like a dexterity check to make sure I don't fall in the water?
I'm gonna make a strength check for Lee and see how it actually went. Nah, you're fine. He gives you the perfect amount of height to land just flat on the boat's deck.
Lee, you need to calm down.
I can't.
You're not planning to blow up my ship, are you?
No.
Like, it's okay. Do you need to squeeze something to get out the anxiety?
No. I'm fine.
No, you're not.
Do you need to go to the bathroom?
Nope. I'm fine.
You
All
sure?
right. Everyone saw
Make it
that. Everyone heard that. It happened. I don't like it. What do you think, Morgan? You know.
I think you have some warlock abilities.
I don't know what a warlock is.
It's what I like to call what I do. Because if I remember rightly, you'd said before that that's not actually a thing in this world that people know much about.
It's called a warlock for all intents and purposes, but it's such an uncommon thing in this world to actually be under a patron that most people don't know what it is.
Oh, fair. Then she'd probably know what it is just thanks to her patron.
Yeah.
Does,
And even then, whatever you call it is up to you.
Would Felsi have a textbook answer for what a warlock is?
Make an Arcana check? Not really.
14.
Like, the abilities sound vaguely familiar, but the concept of a warlock, or at least what she's calling a warlock, doesn't really ring a bell. I feel like some of the members of the temple might be like this, but you don't know because they are pretty secretive about their abilities.
Alright, Lee, the short of it is, I have a patron. In my case, it's my sword.
Okay.
And I'm able to draw power from that patron. But I have to do favors for it. Thankfully, Arya is very lenient with me.
Okay. And that lets you shoot laser beams and like slap people from a distance.
Well, yes, in a way. I can do what you did as well. Kata's probably seen me do so, and I know Dravince's seen me do it.
Really
Yep.
cool.
Okay. Magic. Look,
You can do
sparkle
magic, Lee.
I know I can. I can do two magics. I know how to do 2 magics.
Hi, and I mean, some sparkle magic, as you like to call it, is fairly easy to do, and like she does a thaumaturgy thing as well, taking her eyes from red to like pure coal black, like this.
He's like looking at Keta and then looking at you.
Okay, like I said, I can do it because I'm a tiefling, and then Watergun can do it because she's a tiefling. Like,
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of tieflings can do this.
except for
Looks
Brimstone.
at looks at Brimstone. Looks at
I don't-
Elsie.
I can't do that one.
Yeah.
It's
Wait.
not every tiefling can, but quite a few are able to.
Okay. Because you said most, and then like half of you can't do it.
I only have experience with tieflings like myself because of my family and where I'm from.
There's a lot of different types of tieflings.
It's
Apparently.
weird. It's weird. It's
Well,
weird.
there's
We're
just a
all
lot of
weird.
different types of people.
Yeah.
In my defense, I'm weird.
Yeah.
There,
Turns out not us.
there's a thing I can do if someone hurts me. I can make them burn for a little. I've never had to do it, but I'm able to.
Uh, on a similar token, I can look like somebody else, but not very well.
Okay. What can you do, Falsey?
Looking at it now, it's like out of character, Failsy can do what Lee can do, except she can do two people at once.
What?
Charm person.
You can charm people. You can explain that.
I mean, I never have to use it, but I can make people more amenable to me.
What's amenable mean?
Like you
Like-
better.
Like what you did to me.
Am I a Falsey?
No, no, you're not.
You're a Lee. You just happen to
don't-
have the same ability that she does.
Yeah, because I don't think Failsy can do what you just did.
That and my insults really hurt.
Like mine.
I don't like insulting people. That's rude.
But sometimes it's what you need to do to survive something. I mean, I insulted one of the harpies that landed on the ship when we were first attacked.
You did. Why'd you
Died.
insult them? Just fight them.
She gives him a look like, look at me. Do I look like I can fight?
Apparently, it's something that people like her can do.
Magic is weird.
Brimstone just nods like, yeah,
He has such a confused look on his face.
yeah, it is.
Anyways,
Isn't bad.
it's not bad. It's just weird and hard to understand.
It takes time to learn and understand it does.
It hurts my brain.
Mhm.
And I forget things a lot. I'm trying to be better about that, but I forget things a lot.
I mean,
Write
you
things
don't have to
down.
necessarily be smart to use magic.
Not smart.
I knew if it was done on a brick, but you need fire, you can toss it out of his hands.
I can't do that.
Oh, I don't know.
I just have my imaginary friends.
And the hand that you can carry cake with.
I don't know what you're talking about with the hand.
Failsy sort of waves her hand, and then a second hand appears next to hers.
What the fuck? Where's that coming from? Who made
Okay.
that?
No,
What's
normally I
their
would
floating
say
hand?
I've seen that one before.
I'm confused.
That's my handy extra hand.
Oh, I wish I could do that.
She's gonna she's gonna take a candy out of her bag and go, all right, Lee, I want you to try to catch this, but not using your actual hand. I've seen you do this without you realizing it.
Okay.
Do you just trust me on this?
Okay.
Breaking boy's brain.
She's gonna hold his. She's gonna kind of hold his one of his hands in her hand. I believe in you. You can do this. Okay?
Okay. You're so you're standing next to him and gonna do what with the candy? Or you're just gonna throw
Gonna
it away from you both?
Standing in front of him, and she's
Okay.
gonna drop. She's gonna drop it in front of her. He doesn't catch it with his hand, but
Okay.
try to catch it with the mage hand.
Gotcha.
Cause she's seen him carry shit with the mage hand.
Gotcha.
Just hang it.
Alright. So you drop it. And Lee immediately bows to catch it with his mouth. Okay, don't use my hands.
Lee.
Okay. Guys, I kind of get what you're trying to do. But, oh, sugar
Magic
candy.
break tonight. Take a break from magic tonight.
Sugar candy. Yeah, because I'm tired.
I'm sorry.
My brain hurts. And I feel like we could all use a sleep before we go back on the road.
Yes, Da Vinci. Lee, go and get.
You're tired. You're really tired, Da Vinci.
I did it. I was meaning to say it in third person, but then started in character.
You're like
Okay.
you're like saying what you're doing as you're doing it. It's weird.
Yes, Lee. You should get some rest, and if it's any consolation, I didn't start out with any of that magic stuff either.
No, but you like started off being like real pretty and smart. You're good.
Hey, maybe if you can learn from Da Vinci, you could move and you do that what he does.
Teach him to dance a bit?
He's very handsome.
Are we just going to end up with a Da Vinci's dance studio on the roof?
I was thinking about Lee doing belly dance. And just looking at Kenna and just being like, fuck what you see. That's all that went through my head. It's all I could think about.
Well, Da Vinci does more than just belly dancing, but
That was just the first thing that popped into my head.
no, I get it. When you got such a big man like Lee, just have that chest all out.
Stop! I'm dying.
All right.
That's enough. That's enough.
For the sake of brevity, you guys get your night's rest fully underway. You get everything situated to head out, and by the noon of the morrow, back out traveling. Newly outfitted with glass shoes so you don't destroy your feet when you have to walk through the yellow sands. And even your horse has been given glass horseshoes that will protect it from the sand itself.
Nice.
And then we
Also,
have Madame Elway in her fishbowl.
And there's a fishbowl running alongside the carriage.
Fells is already pining after her wife.
No.
Oh, that was a nice vacation. I want to go back.
We're 2 feet away. We're 2 feet away from the temple. I want to go home.
I miss my wife! As she's waving in the distance, slightly chasing after the cart.
Can we take it with us?
Then the DM appears from the sky. No more NPCs.
Okay.
You have to get rid of some first.
Yeah. So all we got to do is drop off Elevie and her sister, and then we can go and get Jamel.
Jamil as a party NPC would be weakened, though.
Oh, I know.
She'd have to be weakened. She'd
Yeah.
just take all the bosses herself.
Yeah.
Just awake enough, like at least maybe a bit more alert than she was before.
Huh?
Elevie, is she at least a bit more alert than before? Because I know she was just sleeping most of the time.
She does actually look quite a bit better. Her throat is still covered, though. She does not appear to be, anytime she moves, the bandaging around her throat does not suddenly turn red.
Alright, so she's not.
Functionally speaking, the DC for actually healing her has decreased drastically.
Alright, it's just we still probably need to take her to somebody who has more healing magic than we do.
You need to take her to someone who has the regeneration spell, more or less.
Yeah.
And Kenta figures if her mom can't do it, she probably knows somebody who can.
But yeah, that's where we'll end off the session tonight, and all suddenly realize that Lee technically needs to level up. Because he's not level 4 like the rest of the party.
Ketchup feels
It
really
appears to
bad.
be some
comes
bard
back.
warlock multi-class. Either that or bard that took warlock magical secrets.
It just felt really bad.
I mean,
At
wouldn't
that
have
night.
Magical secrets
so.
level 4.
Yeah. Yeah, the lowest level you can get it if you're not a Lord Bard is 10.
Any
That
disease.
unless
Chill.
what's it called?
Sorry, I was in the middle of just still dying of laughter.
Breathe.
Just the picture of belly dancing Lee.
Oh yeah, like what you see.
Okay.
Okay. Alright. I'm Andy. You stole me tonight as Keta. Bard. Who's over her boyfriend not being a fork.
He's an orc.
Something going on. But Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can find me at twitch.tv/Lasverian where I play Desire, the fairy blood hunter who just actually got back to a town finally after being in the woods for the past few sessions. And she's seriously going to going to at least hug a bed, like take 3 days in a bed because she's sick and tired of sleeping on the ground. And then, sorry, I have another, yes, and then our Twitter is at World of Iona, where you can find updates and things like that. The YouTube is where we have all of our VODs. We are up to episode 35. I believe, yeah. And, also, I have a good friend of mine. His name is Tim, and he streams at twitch.tv/It's Me Timothy. He does Dead by Daylight mostly, and he's a lot of fun. He, mostly a very chill streamer. Yeah, he kind of streams whenever. There's no real set schedule. So when he goes live, he goes live. That is me.
Nice.
Alrighty. Ow. Armored, you and Myth have your Saturday game this week.
No.
Nope.
Alright, so... I guess the next person, if they have anything... do you have anything to shield the Armored, or are you good?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. Failsy, do you have anything?
I have no shilling to do.
Give money, receive art.
Give money, receive titty.
That's fair. So, yeah. So, Mondays, 2:30 p.m. EST. Shadows and Starlight. One of our NPCs almost got kidnapped by one of the BBEGs. But thanks to bad thinking from our wizard, it didn't happen. Which is good, because the Day King is an asshole and I'm going to steal his eyes.
Optimus strikes again.
Yep. But that is 2:30 p.m. EST Mondays. Get on the right thing. At twitch.tv/the_lady_Ori. That's all I got.
Alrighty. So then that just brings it to me. And the Monday game has pretty well just become a non-streamed thing because it was just too much difficulty to try to get everybody together for a streamed game. So that's no longer going to be a thing on the channel, unfortunately, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. But we'll still be having Thursday stream here for the foreseeable future, because why wouldn't we? And so hopefully, once again, next week at or around 7 p.m. EST, we will be returning to be getting back on the road and seeing what our merry band of goofballs will get up to next.
I'm on fire.
Oh no. Don't be on fire. That is not good.
I mean in the good way.
If there is a good way to be on fire, great. But yeah, so with that, I think we should all just say our goodbyes for the week.
Bye.
Goodbye. I need to look up those lyrics there in the Big Blue House.
Goodbye, everybody. We'll see y'all next week.